Good morning. Welcome everybody. My name is Aiden. In today's video, I'm gonna bring up a follow-up video regarding the last upload, which is getting started in your IT career with 3 steps. I talked about, studying for the CompTIA A plus training videos, and also trying to get hands-on lab. In this video, I'm going to talk about the challenges that you can face or expect to face on succeeding on those tasks I talked about. And this is something I want to talk about before you get yourself in too deep and or you get confused as to why you can't complete these 3 simple tasks to get started with your IT career. And this is something I personally faced when I was younger. About when I was in high school, I was studying for my IT career and I was facing these challenges. And so that's something I want to talk about. Maybe it may help you and maybe it may not. But I still wanted to go over and explain it. If it does help, then I want to at least provide that. So, number one, this is going to break down into 5 sections. This again may not apply to you or it may apply to you, but I want to talk about it. Number one is going to be study challenges. When you're trying to study for an IT career, trying to get study IT career in high school at the age of 17, I think I started doing it actually at the age of 15, but that's when I took it seriously at the age of 17. You're gonna have challenges, and I think this challenges applies to even whatever age you are right now, because chance is you're doing other things in your life. You're not just standing by to have a free time to study for IT. You probably are working a full-time job somewhere else. You probably are a parent. You probably going to college. You're probably doing something else, but thinking about changing your career or your life around. And this may be what you may have this blockage as well. So number one was time. Where can I find the time to study for this? I still have to take classes regularly. I still have to go to school. I still have to work part-time job. Where does the time come in for me to study IT? That was the challenges I had. And it was not easy to basically navigate those challenges. I had to figure out, should I stay up all night and study IT and then do my daily work like a school work, part-time job, homeworks, or should I just wait until I'm finished with school and just study IT dedicated at then, and maybe take up a year break from going to college? That was the challenge I had. And that was something that it made me puzzled, trying to come up with a solution. But I ended up coming up with a solution. The solution for me was, I'm still young, I'm still energetic, I can get by with a couple hours sleep. And so I'm going to study my IT career during the day, because that's when you can process your skills the most, and then do my homework at night. Because the homework, I didn't necessarily need to, memorize it per se. I needed to do them. Your math or your science, whatever the homework I had to do them at night. But during the day, after I got off with my part-time job, I'll go in and study my IT career. That was what I came up with my solution. Number two is being overloaded. Now, imagine that you are doing so much things at your life already. Now you have to add more things to, your life. This is actually even more crazier in terms of the IT career, because it's not something you are expected to learn overnight, but you still gotta learn. You still gotta know. And so being overloaded is normal when you're trying to get your hands in IT or start a career in IT. So don't feel like you are weird or you feel like you're not able to process this because your brain is overloaded. Don't feel afraid to take breaks. Sometimes I would take maybe like a 3 days break before I continue on my studies. You don't need to rush yourself. You were getting by fine in the last couple of years or decades, some of you, that you may just try to get curious about. You still can do fine. Don't rush it, because you're not going to get to the level you want to be when you rush everything. You want to take your time. You want to go through your studies thoroughly. So that's what I would say about that. And then number two is going to be test anxiety and depression. The reason I talk about it is it's very important for us to have a good mental health. And sometimes when it comes to taking a test, I am not I don't have a lot of anxiety, but I know some of my friends that do. And that's something that is important to talk about it. If you're somebody who's afraid of tests or have anxiety when it comes to tests, you need to, pace yourself. You do not want to go into that and give yourself a panic attack. You don't want to do that. You want to give yourself a good mental frame to be able before you go take the test. So when you go to take a test, as you know, you're not always gonna expect to guarantee to pass that test, especially if you're lacking in your studies. You may fail. You may get close, like you almost needed 2 points to pass the exam. The test is graded in a scale level, and I must see if I can bring it up. So the test is graded in the passing score. So let me go to CompTIA website and show you what I'm talking about. So when you try to take the test, they try to grade you from, this is basically, let me share my other screen here. So this is how the test is gonna be, like a scale the question numbers. You have 90 questions per exam, so that's over 180 questions you have to study for. And then on top of that, the passing score for the first exam, the 1001 is gonna be 675. You have to get at least 675 on the scale of 900. So if you get, let's just say 670, you still consider failed on the first one. And if you fail the first one, there's no way you're taking the second one. The second one, the 1002, the scale is 700, so it went up. So if you get if you pass the first one, for example, and you fail the second one, you're still not a CompTIA A+ certified. So this could be a problem for some people. They may feel like, man, I studied so hard and I still didn't get it. So you do need to study. You do need to dedicate yourself more than most people. If you are somebody who's new to this field, especially, I reckon you study more than just a couple months. You study maybe a year and get familiarized with it. Dedicate yourself. If you are a fast learner, you already have some prior experience, have a go a couple months and see. But anyways, they recommend at least for you to have a 9 to 12 months of hands-on experience. This is where I was talking about the first challenge. Some people may not be able to get this, and that's a challenge that could deter them from. But I think in my experience, and what you should do is find all junk computers. Nowadays they are so easy to come by in the pawn shops or either eBay or Amazon. You could just find one for $40 and try to play with it, or get subscribed to the test out simulation. In fact, I did more research for you, and what they do is when you sign up, you can sign up for a trial. You can just click on request instructor access, and then you fill out this information. They send you 7 days access for free of whatever subject you want to study. And when you comes to this subject, for example, you want to fill out this, and then you want to be able to go ahead and choose the A+, which is going to be called the PC Pro in here. So that's what you could do to get your hands on challenges. But the point is, test anxiety is real when you have to study so much and now you're guided by a computer or graded by a computer on whether you know the subjects or not. And basically you have 180 minutes to sit down on one single session, or you could take a little break. When I did it back in the days, I took a breaks, but the point is there might be time where you may just feel like, I want to get over it, I don't want to take a break, because that may put you in a more anxiety level. So that's normal for some people, and the best case to figure out that is to figure out what suits you in terms of study, what suits you in terms of expectation. Don't compare yourself to somebody else who says, I'm not bothered by any anxiety. If you have anxiety, take your time, and then make sure that you work towards something that works better for you. If it's better for you to basically maybe take a slower pace in terms of your studies, then do that. If it's better for you to take a fast pace, do that. Whatever is better, helpful to you, is gonna help you succeed in this field and get you into this field. The point is, it's no race. Whatever you're doing right now, I'm pretty sure you're okay. And if you're not, you can't get there with a fast pace. Anyway, you wanna know this thing. This is the career. It's not a one job thing. So always study hard and always try to take time. Scenario number 3 is going to be feeling not good enough. This is something that a lot of times some people get whenever they started the IT career. Maybe they're facing challenges. Maybe they're going through some special test on their life, personal life, and now they're thinking that, man, I'm not doing well at work anymore because at my life is really a bit of a mess, whatever that may be going on. And because of that, you may feel like you're not good enough to be in IT. Don't feel like that. Figure out your personal life first. You can try to become a problem solver, or you can try to think critically if you're not able to get your personal life together. A lot of times it could be domestic, it could be family related issue, it could be children. Just get that figured out and don't judge yourself at that time when you're dealing with those challenges. It's life, everybody deals with them, but rather be positive and always say, you know what, you will get through it. Have that positive mindset that you will get through the challenges, and then you will go back to becoming a decent IT person. Because if you start judging yourself at that, and when you're dealing with challenges, you're gonna even feel even more, basically sadness, or maybe feel like depression. You don't want to get there. So don't feel like you're not good enough when you're dealing with challenges. And sometimes it could be you just feel like you're not good enough because you're getting some customer tickets wrong, and that comes with experience. Experience is something that experience is not something that's taught. It's something that you experience yourself as your life. And you could be taught the best course for thousands of dollars. That's not going to give you experience about seeing things in the past and able to reflect and apply it to the current situation you're in. Some people will gain experience by being in the field longer. Some people will gain experience by doing their own things, on the side hustle, like maybe working as a consultant. Whatever the method you gain experience, you have to have experience for you to be able to solve some problems. So don't give yourself the harsh reality early and quit the field. The other thing is, step 4 is gonna be feeling overwhelmed. So it is natural to feel overwhelmed, especially when you're studying for the exam, because this exam, to some people, it's a life-changing exam, because you dedicate yourself, for example, 9 months, studying, buying book, reading ebooks, or watching videos, putting together hands-on lab, which in this case they recommend you to have a year to 9 month experience on the lab or field. And so doing that is you spend so much, a year of your life into this, or close to a year. And when you take an exam, you feel like, I gotta get this right now because I put so much time, I dedicated myself. But the reality of the matter is that is determined by something else. In my beliefs, I feel like it's called whatever God wills for you, you're gonna get it. You're not gonna get something that God didn't will for you. So if you tried this so hard and you're still not getting it, maybe God has different plan for you. Maybe you're not at the phase where you're ready to be in that field yet. They could be a number of reasons, and I can't get to everybody's scenario, but the point is, don't feel overwhelmed. Take it your own pace. If you fail the exam, you can retake it. There's nothing that says you cannot retake it. But know this, don't treat yourself harshly. Some people I know, they're super, personal about everything. So when they fail exam, they take it personally. and they stop eating for days. They start becoming a little bit more depressed looking. Don't be like that, because this is not something that if you're not very good at exam taking, you will probably, fail, and that's okay until you decided it's not okay. The only way you can decide it's not okay is by not going back at it, not studying the areas you failed, because the exam will tell you what parts of it you failed. And so I would say go back and study yourself or the things the area you failed again. And also, this is another thing within this step 4 I want to talk about it, which is a lot of overwhelmness is come from YouTube videos. Some people in YouTube are making 6-figure income. Some people are making 7-figure, 8-figure, whatever in IT, doing some cool software programming or software development or cybersecurity or whatever, working for the FANG, Microsoft, Apple, Facebook, Google. You are not gonna be at that level yet. You first have to figure out what area you want to work on. What I'm talking about right now is just entry level to get you the field experience. You may decide that I don't want anything to do with this. I want to do just software developing. And that's different entry level altogether. But I feel like this is still going to help you. If you know this concept of basic computer fundamentals like your hardware, software, cybersecurity, it will make you a better developer. It will make you a better networking, engineer. It will make you better, let's just say better website builder, if you want to develop websites. So overall, that's what I would say about those. You do not let those noise of YouTube, IT videos, especially on one's talking about you're gonna make this much money in 2 months. Know that it's not gonna happen for you yet, unless you find a hidden secret that I'm not aware of yet. You're still gonna have to work yourself through the path of getting that experience, that figuring out what you're good at, and then mastering your skills on that. Because otherwise, you're gonna end up finding yourself the hard reality that you give yourself higher expectation of making certain money, and when you don't make it, you feel like you're a failure. But in reality of the matter, those were not achievable expectations. So make expectations that are achievable. These steps I gave you in the first video, and I'm going over again in terms of the challenges, are achievable. You have steps to follow, and they have a successful results. If you study those, you get certified as a CompTIA A+ certified pro, or CompTIA A+ certified professional. You should get a job. You should get a job. I will never say you will get a job, because that depends on what the area you live in, whether you can find an entry-level position, but you should get a job easily as a helpless person. But then what you do after that is up to you. Lastly, once you get a job in step 5, once you get a job, do not feel like the need to compare yourself with your seasoned IT pros. This is the mistake that I have done when I started my IT career back in 2009, 2008, as an IT intern. I was comparing myself to seasoned pros, as a network seasoned engineer or systems engineer seasoned, somebody who's been doing IT way longer than me. And I was just an intern level at that point. So I wanted to know, why do I not know what they know? Well, how can I, why can I get the things that they're doing right away? And that just came down to experience. They had more experience, they had more exposure, they had more knowledge. And the minute I realized that, it was helpful. Instead of me judging myself on why do I know this thing, I asked them, hey, how can you help me so I can, solve this next time? Can you give me some directions? What steps, what mistakes did I make? Let them critique you. Because in IT, it's all about letting people in terms of giving you advice. If you decided that you know everything, then guess what? You really don't know anything, and you're just shutting down the people that could give you what you need to succeed. So it's very important that you don't shut down everybody. It's very important that you don't judge yourself harshly on especially when you're new to the field. it's better to not also have a crazy expectation in your early days. You may just get to do password resets. You may just get to do a simple PC, repair, and that's okay because that's getting you experience. You got to do what you call the slump work first, or the dirty work first, before you start to realize the nice, let's just say luxury part of the IT. In my opinion, the help desk is not even a slump. It's a better career than most field out there. It's better than working in a factory. It's better than working as a warehouse job. Whatever you do that is not office based is better than that, because you're around people that have a higher career. You could always learn things, techniques, tips, and you also have a higher chance of moving up, getting promoted. So it's never a slum or lower job. It's always better to be in IT than not to be in IT field. So that's a blessing, so don't forget that. And yeah, that's all I have for you in this video, those 5 things. Remember, we talked about number 1 is going to be you're going to have a study challenges, your test, your hands-on training, and time. Number 2, we talked about basically you're going to have issues with text anxiety and depression, afraid of tests, fear of tests. This could be in your area, so don't be afraid. Number 3, we talked about feeling not good enough, seeking validation because you don't have experience, and so on. Number 4, you talked about feeling overwhelmed with all the info you're getting from IT, studies, acronyms, hands-on. Number 5 is you talk about comparing yourself to others, seasoned IT pros. So yeah, I hope this video was helpful. It was a longer video than I intend to make, but I feel like it could even be longer and I still won't cover everything I want to. But I'm gonna stop right now. Thanks for tuning in. If you like this type of content, please like, subscribe. I'll talk to you next time. Bye-bye.